Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another project using the Thoughtful Studio Tessa and the Flowers collection. Now this is the collection that I debuted at the beginning of this month and actually got the chance to interview Marie, who is the designer and creator of all of the Thoughtful Studio designs. So I have this 8.5 by 11 layout that's going in my 2020 album. Now my 2020 album is a disc bound album, and the maximum page I can put in there is 8.5 by 11, but I have been putting all different sizes of pages in there, but the max is 8.5 by 11. So that is what I am working with here. So I actually pulled out this old Fiskars shape template and decided to make a scallop out of one of these pages. Now, if you do something like this, just make sure you trace it on the back. That way you don't have to go through the hassle of erasing all of the pencil lines. Now, while you are watching me kind of put this page together, I'm going to go ahead and remind you that we have a giveaway that is going on, and it is going to end on June 3rd. So make sure you go back and check out the video, which I will link at the end, but make sure you go back and check out the video about the giveaway. All you have to do is 3 different steps, and then you can get entered in to win your own set of these papers. Now, sorry, Kaylin is playing with a friend in his room, so you probably hear them giggling, but these papers were really a lot of fun to work with. Actually, mount my layout, well, at least most of it. I'm going to have a white border along the edge, but most of this layout is mounted on this really simple studio calico paper. It is just a very simple neutral hexagon shape, and I was using my washi tapes here. I've been trying to make a point to do a little bit more of techniques, I suppose, or using different things from my stash. So just like pulling out that Fiskars template, as well as doing some stitching on my last layout with the Thoughtful Studio design team, and also doing this, tracing the template onto the pattern paper. Just doing a bunch of different things to kind of keep my layouts fresh, I guess you can say, but also just kind of keep my creative juices flowing. I find that the more varied things that I do in my layouts, the more excited I am about actually creating the layout. I like just sitting down and creating. It's not about getting the page done. It's more about just the process. It's just fun. So I have actually printed out a picture of my branding here. And Marie actually designed this for me. It was not part of the Thoughtful Studio stuff, but she did it for me as just an awesome friend, and I absolutely love it. It just happens to really coincide with this one paper. It has kind of that dusty rose pink color, and it just works really well. So I decided I actually wanted to use a different paper with the scallop. I had put it on that teal paper, but I changed my mind and decided I want to put it on this paler blue paper that has like these stars on it. So I'm just switching that out, and it's very simple. If I don't want to use that scallop on that teal paper, all I have to do is just, trim off that edge, and then I have a straight edge on that paper when I use it for another project. Chances are, though, I'll probably use the scallop. I actually really do like the scallop look. I just feel like the blue looks a little bit better than the teal. It just seemed to work a little bit better. I'm going to trim this down to kind of have it work here on this page. Now, because I'm using a disc bound album, I am punching directly on my pages. I'm not putting them in page protectors this year. This is a new way of scrapbooking that I'm trying, and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. I just have to kind of keep that in mind when I'm creating the pages. So because I'm going to be punching the tabs directly onto my page, I have to keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to be a problem to punch it into pattern paper, but this pattern paper wasn't incredibly thick, so I just mounted it on a piece of white cardstock. I think it's 110-pound white cardstock, and it also made it to where now that I have folded those washi tapes over the side, you don't see those on the back side of this page. So far in my album, what I've been doing, and this may change, but so far I've been just gluing the pages together or putting them back to back, where I'll actually create the page on the back side of this. Since this one is on white cardstock, it'd be very simple just to create the page on the back side. I am going to end up trimming down that blue a little bit, but for right now I'm kind of keeping it the same size, but I do want to go ahead and get my title down. I have a ton of alpha stickers, and I actually prefer alpha stickers over thickers. I like the flat effect of the stickers, and I like that they're a little bit easier to manipulate if you need to. This is where I decided I don't have enough room for my title if I keep this blue paper the same size. So I'm going to glue it down and then trim a little bit off the bottom just to kind of make that blue little piece a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to put my title right down here at the bottom. This this layout is a little bit... It's not neutral because you've got the blues and the pinks, but it's definitely a softer toned layout with the background being very neutral with the gray and the silver and the film strip washi tape on the right side. It's all very simple. Now the film strip washi tape, this layout is all about how my last layout using the Thoughtful Studio Tessa and the Flowers kit or collection was all about a year of growth for my business and the Design by Melody brand. And this one is all about new adventures because I'm just really starting I'm having a lot of different opportunities this year, and it's been really exciting. So that's what this layout is all about. It just happened to be that both of them were using the Tessa and the Flowers collection. That was really not planned. That just happened to work out that way. So my title is going to be New Adventures 20, as in 2020. I really wanted to put 2020, but I didn't have 2 2s and 2 zeros in the same color on this number sheet, and I really wanted to use those enamel numbers. So I'm just using a couple different alphas from my stash, just random alpha sticker sheets. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I got sidetracked by myself. Does that ever happen to y'all? It definitely happens to me. But I'm using that film strip washi tape. That's the whole point. That's what I was going to say. Because I'm doing a lot of different videos. I'm having a lot of opportunity to participate in a lot of different things this year. And so that I thought it was fitting to have that black and white film strip on the washi tape, and then that's also why I brought in the black alpha here. Now these alpha stickers are all fairly old, so I'm just reinforcing those with a little bit of liquid glue. Now if you don't have a glue pen, this is a Martha Stewart one that I bought at Michael's years ago, and they're no longer available. I even searched online and cannot find them, but there are some Zig writer. I think there's Zig. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're Zig writers. I will link them in the description box below. I try to include a product list, and I have finally gotten my links fixed. If you haven't seen any videos with broken links in the description box, bear with me. I'm trying to go back and fix some of those, but they will definitely be fixed from now on because I know now what the problem was. I had to work with YouTube to get it fixed, but we got it fixed. So I will link the products down in the description box below, as well as links to get your own collection of this Tessa and the Flowers collection. You can get that directly from Thoughtful Studio Etsy shop. But the Zig, I think it's a Zig two-way glue pen is what they're actually called. I have those as well, but I haven't opened it because this Martha Stewart one still works, and I don't like to open new things, especially like adhesive that could dry out until I'm done using the one that I have. Just to give the papers a little bit more definition, I have done some faux stitching with my pin around the edges, and that just brings another black element into the page as well. Now I'm sitting here looking at it. You can kind of see me fiddling, trying to decide if there's something else I want to add. And I go back to my punch. I was trying to decide if there was just another way that I wanted to punch a paper to include, and I decided to do some border punching. This is something I don't do very frequently, and there's probably a reason why I don't do it very frequently, because it ends up being a pain in the butt sometimes. But it ended up working out okay. It didn't have the same effect it had in my mind, but it works out. It works out. It just didn't work out the same way it did in my head. I probably should have pulled out some of my decorative scissors. I don't have very many border punches, which is again why I had to do use the Fiskars template to draw the scallop and just cut it out. I really should probably invest in a few more border punches, but I just haven't. I only have 2. Like truly just two. This postage stamp one is one of them, and then I have like a bubble, which does not make sense as to why I have a bubble one. I think it was just a random one that I had. But anyways, I went ahead and put that down there. I just wanted something a little bit more color, but nothing crazy. And this is a different pattern, but it has the same colors as that pink pattern paper that I already used. It is the one that I did the border punching with. You can't tell, but it is the pattern paper that looks like a 4-leaf clover or a heart with like 4 petals. I mean, not a heart, a flower with like 4 petals. I felt like the layout just needed something else. So I'm trying, looking through this little drawer I have with a bunch of just punched hearts. These are just some hearts that I have punched out of different pattern papers over the years. And I throw them in there if I don't use them on a layout, or if I have a very tiny bit of scrap, I will sometimes punch some hearts out of it and just throw it in that bin. And that's just another way for me to use scrap papers without throwing them away. But it was showing up a little bit too much, so I decided to just use these white enamel stars instead, and that's just from my stash. I have no idea where those are from. No clue. But they were in my stash, so I'm going to include them. I really like the subtle effect that it gives the layout without really bringing in another color. It just brings in those 3 little stars. So this is a fairly simple layout, but I really like the effect of it. It's very clean and crisp looking. It's not too distracting. It doesn't have a lot of extra stuff going on. It's just very nice and very simple. Now, I thought my washi tape was coming up for a bit, so I'm just kind of taking one final look to see if I need to glue down anything else, and then that is going to finish out this layout. Oh, I forgot I did this. Sorry. So just to ensure that that washi tape doesn't come up, I am using my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to just staple the ends of the washi tape, and then I'm just kind of flattening the backs of those staples to make sure that it doesn't create like a bump on the back side of this page, especially if I'm going to end up using the back side of this page to do another layout on directly. All right, so that finishes out this layout. This is a photo of the entire layout, and then a couple close-up shots. You can really see the background paper here. It's just that really simple, like dotted hexagon on just a piece of white paper. That's it. And you can see the beautiful colors of the blue. Don't forget to go enter into that giveaway. Make sure you go check out the video that I have here on the screen as to how you can enter in that giveaway. And then I'm also going to link the playlist with all of my Thoughtful Studio projects on them, so you can go back and check all of them out. Thank you for joining me today, and I will be back in just a few days with another video. Bye guys!